volatile presence. Overwhelms me. I am a brutal presence. I will enforce my will. I am a brutal presence. Domination fulfilled.
All right, it is Wednesday. It is noonish. I've got my throat lozenge in. I'm sounding like a frog. I'm going to sneeze snot all over this microphone today with a sinus infection. It's a fantastic day here on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. Not an imposter. It is me, even though the voice sounds, a little more nasal. I feel like Willie Nelson today. Sitting in the studio with me, I can't remember his name, Joe Robinette. Don't know why I couldn't remember your name. I can't remember where I am right now. This is cool. Well, welcome back to the show, Joe.
Thanks for having me back to the show.
Yeah,
nice to be here.
It's been a little while. You've done a lot of things with comedy since the last time you've been here.
Yeah, a little bit. It must be this show. Every time I'm on here, I never have anything going on, and then within the next couple of weeks, I have a bunch going on. So
see, that's the Life Radio
it's
Show.
Show. It gets out to that many people, and
which is weird because Father Time came on. He told me he thought it ruined his career. So,
that among other things.
Yeah, I don't think it was the show, but that's okay. Well, so what's been going on? How long you been doing stand up now?
I just turned 2 back in August. August 6th I turned 2, and August 7th I turned 40. So I got my comedy and my human birthday back to back there.
Yeah. So. That's good. Well, you can celebrate them both at once. Did anybody get you anything for your 2-year comedy birthday?
No, they didn't. Now that you mention it, no. I did get to, I got to headline a Sunday Comics on the date of the 2-year anniversary. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
There might have been 12 people there. I think that's one thing I've found is the hardest thing about doing comedy is getting people to come to shows. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's like people think it's like if you're learning guitar or something, it's not like I'm asking you to come sit in for guitar lessons with me. It's like,
right. You'll still
we've established something at this point. It's tough to get people to come out.
It is, and that's usually when you're first starting out, you'll have about 20 people say, "Well, tell me when your next show is. I'll be there." And then out of those 20 people, 1 or 2 might show up if you keep hassling them.
Yeah,
it's so much fun trying to get people out to your shows.
Yeah, it has been pretty frustrating.
I found that the one thing that does work is a van
Toiline.
And chloroform.
Yeah, or toiline. Yeah.
So
I guess it just depends if you want them to wake back up or not.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you want them to be at least semi-awake for your set.
Right.
They don't have to be fully awake. They still have to be groggy enough to laugh at anything.
Yeah, just to make some noise.
Right. Yeah, so you know that they're still there and they haven't passed away during your set. Because comedy can be killer.
That'd be a pretty cool distinction, though, if you actually killed somebody during a set.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on how you killed them.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's probably happened before. Some comic on stage gone nuts, and I could see that happening. I used to really worry about some of the, Andy.
Yeah.
I miss Andy. Some people don't. I miss Andy. I always liked him. He was nuts.
Well, I got a friend request from Herman Tweedbuckle today, and I always thought that was Andy's alter ego, but maybe not.
Really?
As I assume Andy is still this time.
No, I've heard the name Herman Tweedbuckle. I'm not sure exactly who that is.
He's a fake Facebook profile that's friends with a lot of Dayton comics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he is fake. It doesn't actually exist.
Right. Well, the profile exists. We just don't know who it is.
Maybe it was passed on. Maybe it
might have been. It might have been like the Dread Pirate Roberts, like was Wesley in the beginning of Princess Bride, and then he passed it on to the other fellow, Inigo Montoya, I believe.
Yes, Inigo.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
See, I think it's funny when I first got married, or when I first started dating my wife before we got married, that was one of the first movies I made her watch.
Did you like it?
She thought I was the biggest sissy. Before she
'Cause you
watched
like
it,
that
she
movie?
thought it's a movie called The Princess Bride, and here's a guy telling me to watch it. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
is.
but doesn't say it's not a macho name.
Right.
So yeah, she thought there was something wrong right off the bat, and then I made her watch The Jerk, and she knew something was wrong with me.
What'd she think about The Princess Bride afterwards, though? Did she like it or no?
She will never tell me that she liked it.
Okay,
I know she did.
right,
I know
right.
she did because she's watched it again by
She finished?
herself.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So it's like, yeah, I knew it. Make fun of me.
Yeah, John Morris was doing a movie review for a couple weeks, and that was one of the ones I chose, and he said, didn't sit well with him. I guess maybe it's a generational thing.
I guess. That's a classic.
Yeah, it is.
And if John doesn't like it, who the heck is he? You know?
Right.
I'll have word with him later.
He's a juggalo, so I'm not sure how much
exactly.
his opinion is weighted.
Yeah, if you're an ICP fan, that automatically disqualifies your opinions on most
Lots
things.
of things.
Yeah.
Other than Fago or Fanta, whichever.
Right. So you get to MC this week.
Yep, hosting at Wiley's
for Tim
again
Bador.
for Tim Bador and Tabari
McCoy. is gonna
McCoy,
be
I believe,
featured,
yeah. Which
that'll be a great show.
Yes, it will. Yes.
Tabari's called into the show a couple times. I
Has
haven't
he?
been able to get him in the studio, but he's called in a couple times.
I think I've met him. I just don't remember, but I think I've met him.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Is he
like I said, it's going to be
Cincy
a great lineup this weekend.
Is he a Cincy guy or
Yeah,
is he local?
yeah.
Right.
I don't know if he still lives in Cincy. He may have, but I'm pretty sure he does.
Right on.
But because he travels all over the place doing shows.
Nice.
As one of the times he called in, not the last time, but one of the times he called in, he was calling into a Dayton radio station from Cincinnati to promote a show in Louisville. So we get a little confused here from time to time. I think this is the last time I come on the air with a lozenge in my mouth because I have a feeling it's just
you're
the
one making noise
click
now.
And
I'm
slurp
sitting
all
here
over. Yeah,
quiet as
you're
can
behaving
be.
yourself.
Yep. No
That's-
pin to flip or anything. And you're the one making noise into the mic.
Well, I'll give you a pin to flip. That way I can blame it on you afterward.
Sweet.
So what's been going on with you, comedy wise? We talked about how long you've been doing it. What's been some of your shows you've had going that have gone well lately or gone horribly wrong?
It seems like every time I travel, they go wrong. I know
Really?
We drove to Indy a couple weeks ago, Indianapolis, probably a little over 2-hour drive, and a bunch of young 20-somethings, which marriage and kid material doesn't sit the best with, and they just kind of blankly stare at me, and I have those blank stares to think about on the 2-hour drive back home, and that was a pretty rough show.
That makes for a rough drive home too.
Right. And of course, during the set, I look in the back of the room, and Chris Bowers, walks in. It's like, oh, good, glad he gets to see this one. And then before I went up, Aaron Phillips was up, and Aaron has this trick he likes to do. No, this was at a.
Oh, okay.
Hell, I forget the name of it. Little bar show.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't been over to Morty's yet.
So I wouldn't.
But yeah, Aaron has this little trick he likes to do where he pretends the microphone stand is a lever that drops you into a better comedy show. And sometimes when he does that trick, he breaks the microphone stand, or he loosened it. And then when I touched it, it just kind of fell apart on me. So that was the start of my set. It didn't really start off great with me breaking the equipment.
That's never good.
No.
But it does happen. Greg Hahn broke our microphone stand at Wiley's.
Greg probably breaks a lot of stuff, I imagine.
Yeah, he's a little hyper.
He's a bigger guy than I thought he'd be, too. He looked like an action figure. When I've seen him on TV, he just looked like a little dude, like a little short, stereotypical Marine. But when I met him, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's a low energy show. It's the sinus thing. It's kind of
me on it. Yeah.
And you're low energy anyway.
I am.
Which is good. You have a good low energy persona on stage too.
That's a good thing. Good.
It's not quite like it's not a Stephen Wright level low energy or a Mitch Hedberg low energy, but you have your own low energy.
Good.
Would you like to hit a news story?
Yeah, what do we got?
Just to see what we have.
I'm sure
coming
there's
up in the
nothing
news.
good.
Oh, never is. Let's see. See, I haven't read these in a while. So a Montreal man says he's facing a $117 traffic ticket for singing in his car. In September, Taufik Moaya, I guess. I will just call him
Close
Tao.
enough.
Yeah. He was driving home and singing along to Gonna Make You Sweat, a 1990 dance music smash by CNC Music Factory. You know the one, Everybody
Sure.
Dance Now.
Yeah.
The 38-year-old Tao was grooving to the beat when police suddenly pulled him over. 4 of Montreal's finest came up to look into his car and asked him what he was doing. After he replied nothing, and one of the officers asked him, "Were you screaming loudly?" He told the officers, "No, I was just singing to my favorite song," and then repeated the catchphrase, "Everybody dance now," and apparently still got him another ticket.
But somebody saw a Middle Eastern man screaming, "Going to make you sweat till you bleed," and that's why he got stopped. And
Everybody
4
dance now.
officers had to come up to the car for a guy singing.
That was a terror suspect moment.
Yeah.
You never know. That CNC Music Factory. That's.
I
just
hate
not,
to admit that may have been one of my first compact discs.
Wow.
That and the Ozzy Osbourne tribute to balance it out a little bit.
That's still
It's
a little off
strange
balance.
combination.
Though. It's
Yeah.
still a little off
Yeah.
balance, Joe. I got it. What was the first album you ever bought? Out of curiosity.
The first cassette
not
tape,
necessarily CD, but just all together.
the first one I remember picking out and buying on my own was Ozzy Bark at the Moon.
That's a good one. I still have
Yeah.
that on CD at home.
Yep.
There was a radio contest a long time ago they could guess your age based on the first album you ever bought.
Huh.
And I called in. The first album I ever actually bought myself was AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And I think at the time I called in, I was like 15, and they guessed like 35, so they were a little bit off.
Yeah, because that was probably like 85 or 6 or something, maybe, that album.
That album came
Maybe
out,
earlier
I believe
than
it
that.
was 75,
Oh, wow.
maybe?
Wow.
That's one of their older ones. Yeah, good album, though. Because I think by mid-'80s, they were more into the, when did Money Talks come out? And the Thunderstruck album. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, that era.
Yeah, that
Mid
was a
to
little
late
later on,
90s.
but yeah, I can't even remember that. Anyway, I don't even know what the hell the topic is, and we're off of it.
AC/DC.
So AC/DC is the topic.
Yep.
Oh, wow. This is a great show today.
Good start. It's a good
We're
start.
off to a great start. As
Maybe
long
we
as I
could
don't
read
break
that,
the mic stand or something.
Maybe we could read that college football top 25 again.
Yeah, there you go. That would be exciting. That's exciting news right there. Exciting. It did just sounded like a school closing. Could you remember that
Yep,
feeling when you're
yep.
sitting at home listening
Waiting
to the
to hear
radio,
yours.
always listening to WHIO.
They're quick to close nowadays. It seemed like when we were in school, like we were going for the most part, but now, I mean, they close just for cold
Yeah.
and wind. They'll close for.
Yeah, I don't remember ever having the school closed for cold.
No, nope.
And I used to walk. Well, you used to walk because you
Sure,
were right there.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, we actually went to the same school.
Yeah.
Like what, 1 year apart, something like that.
1 or 2. Yeah. Yeah. I was 96.
Yeah, I graduated in 95. So yeah, we're
Okay.
a year
Yep.
apart.
Yeah.
And actually, our comic birthdays are about a year apart too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I started about a year before you did. So.
Really? I thought you were quite a bit before then, actually.
No, not a whole lot. I was doing
Wow.
more back then.
Right.
I was doing more shows.
Right.
Now I haven't been doing much anything lately. Okay, we'll move on to another news story. As I clear my head. The only thing more frightening than that scene in It where the kids see Pennywise in old photos might be when you spot the creepy clown in your own pictures. There's a good crunch for the
Yeah.
especially when they're your engagement photos. Jesse McLaren secretly added Pennywise to his sister's engagement photos, then shared the images on Twitter. He wrote on the countdown until she notices. There's no word on her reaction just yet, but you can see the eerie images in his tweet. That's not much of a news story. Just
It's really
a joke
not.
he was playing, but you know.
Or very
I guess
original.
that would kind of freak
Maybe
you out.
a little, yeah.
Well, is it original? Is he the first person to Photoshop
I don't
weird
think
things?
so.
And, because engagement photos and wedding photos, people have messed with those
Right.
forever. I mean, I'd say I'd like the ones where they had the whole wedding party and then they kind of photoshopped a dinosaur chasing them and all the stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, It's not that original, but neither is my show. So it's found a home here, and we're good. I can't even find a good news story to get us talking, Joe. This is just low energy.
Keep going. Keep digging.
All right. We'll dig deeper because that's what we do here on The Life. Zookeepers at Berlin's main animal park are hoping to cure a young female. What's that?
This isn't going to end well.
No, it's not. It's at a zoo in Berlin. Zookeepers at Berlin's main animal park are hoping to cure a young female panda's habit of walking backwards by introducing her to one of life's most precious pleasures, sex. They plan to introduce the 4-year-old Ming Ming to Zhao King, a panda 3 years her senior, in the hope that romance will help her with the frustrations associated with life in captivity that could be behind her weird habit. Ming Ming is in puberty, according to zoo director Andreas Knierman. Whatever that is, I don't know. The reverse walk is a protest against things she dislikes, be it food or her caregivers. So apparently we have a backwards walking panda protesting things she don't like, and they're going to try to get her having sex, which hopefully
billions of dollars we spend globally just trying to get pandas to do panda stuff.
Right.
I don't know why. It's an odd creature that we have to spend millions just to try and get him to mate or to walk forwards. Maybe just let him go.
Well, yeah, eventually, if she's walking backwards all the time, eventually she's going to run into something and take care of the problem herself of mating.
Yeah, she'll figure it out.
Yeah. She'll back it right, back that up. That's what.
Yeah. Actually got flipped off by a panda yesterday.
Flipped off by a panda?
Yeah. Driving back to my house, getting ready for trick or treat, and this couple had their kid in the back of the SUV, and they're turning right as I'm going straight past, and a little panda bear flipped me off.
It wasn't Mike Canistero, was it?
It might have been. It might have been him riding with his parents, getting ready to trick or treat in West Milton.
That could be. I haven't seen Pandy Kaufman in a while, so it's hard to say.
No, I thought he was going to do the street show that we did.
Really?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, he was supposed to be in costume.
Oh, I didn't know that. That would have gone over well.
I just realized now that he wasn't there, but yeah.
Well, he'll be he's Mike Canistero, not Pandy Kaufman.
Right.
Mike Canistero is going to be headlining the Wiley Sunday Comics this weekend, I believe. He's going to be closing that show out. That looks like it's going to be a good show. Got some good local comics on that one.
Yep, always is.
Yeah, I guess I should have. I guess I should have brought Pandy in or had Pandy call in for this story on Ming Ming.
Yeah.
And see what his thoughts on panda sex are, because
not
he
very
seems
creative with the names on them either. There's been Ming Ming and Ling Ling and
they are kind of
branch it out. We need like a Steve.
Yeah, Steve the panda.
That
Bob. that would be well, that's a female, so it'd be like Jennifer the panda. That would be. I was thinking about non-creative names the other day because I went to years ago. I went down to the Caribbean, down to Southern Caribbean, and I spent a couple weeks in Trinidad. Nice. And down in Trinidad, they're very creative with their names of businesses. If they have there's a burger stand called Burger Boys.
Yeah.
It's a hot dog stand. It's Hot Dog Boys. Pizza places, Pizza Boys. Everything is boys,
nice.
Which is weird because I'm pretty sure they had a strip club called Girls, 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 Boys, which, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect going in there, especially because it was right next door.
Older businessmen coming down.
Well, it was right
there.
next door to a transmission shop called Tranny Boys, so I was really confused on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's creative names.
Yeah.
I did make the comment down. It seemed like every business was something boys. They even had there's a Donut Boys, Muffler Boys.
Pet
it
Boys,
just cracked
Boys.
me up. Yeah. Well, because Trinidad's not like Jamaica. Jamaica, everything's man. Hey, man.
Right.
Down there, it's everything's hey, boy. Hey, boy.
Right.
So that must be where the name comes from, calling everything something boys. But The strip club girls, boys, I thought was good. That's some new stuff I'm working on.
I would probably
Joe.
still go in.
What's that?
I would probably still go in.
Yeah, well, you got to check it out at that point.
Yep.
Stay away from the transmission.
But that's
shop.
like Indianapolis when you're downtown Indy or in Speedway, Indianapolis. Everything's based on the track. You know, it's 500 liquor and 500 market, and they really named a liquor store after the Indy 500.
Huh.
Okay.
Because that's what goes well with driving very fast.
Right.
Is a lot of liquor, alcohol, and driving fast. Are just that spells Indianapolis to me.
It would be cool if they did it drunk.
Well, yeah, it would be. Everybody watches NASCAR for the crashing anyway.
Yep.
So that would be, that would just at least double all the crashes. It'd be so much better to watch, so much more entertaining.
Yeah, I think so.
Because somebody instead of going, turning left around the track, somebody would be going backwards.
And if they have to texting's mandatory, and so's drinking. That's the way NASCAR should be.
Yep. I'm winning. You got to text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead, get rid of the communication through the headphones with the pit crew. You got to
right.
text.
Everything's done through text.
That's a fantastic idea. I'm going to get a hold of the president of NASCAR and see if we can get that changed, because that would definitely make it more exciting. All right, I think. I was about to take a break and I forgot I got to do the comedy rundown. See, this is not just a low energy show. It's a nonsensical show. I don't have any sense right now. But we'll go ahead and do the comedy rundown for the week, brought to you by the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in downtown Dayton's historic Oregon District. You can call 224-JOKE or go to wileyscomedy.com for details and tickets. Thursday, November 2nd, the Best of Dayton Comedy Showcases at Mugshots. Not Mud Shots. That's a whole different different angle. Yeah. Mugshots. That's the Best of Dayton Comedy Showcase at Mugshots at 2341 South Smithville Road in Kettering. I can't talk either. Thursday through Sunday, November 2nd through the 5th, Dan Cummings is going to be at Dayton Funny Bone at 88 Plum Street at the Green. Friday and Saturday, November 3rd and 4th, Tim Bedore's at the legendary Wiley's Comedy Club at 101 Pine Street in Dayton's Oregon District, emceed by Joe Robinette, and it's going to be featured by Tabari McCoy. Sunday, November 5th, the Comics Hang is going to be at Wiley's Comedy Club starting at 5 p.m., going from 5 to 7 just before the open mic. So if you want to come out and work on some new jokes, come on out to Wiley's on Sunday. And also, Wiley's Sunday Comics is back at Wiley's Comedy Club on Sunday. So that show starts at 8 p.m. That is it. As always, check out wileyscomedy.com, DaytonFunnyBone.com for details and tickets to upcoming shows. Also, be sure to check out the Unwritten Podcast from the Dayton Writers Movement, available at unwrittenpodcast.com. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and play a little Potter's Field, and we will be back here shortly.
Are you into making music, videos, or podcasts? Are you a local comedic talent in need of some much-needed publicity? Are you a behind-the-scenes professional interested in audio-video production, graphic design, and public relations? Eventide Entertainment is actively seeking talents, clients, and professionals to help our business grow into something truly special. And we want you to be one of those. For more information, go to facebook.com/Eventide Entertainment or send us an email at eventideent@gmail.com.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. Sitting in the studio with me, Mr. Joe Robinette, who's going to be emceeing this weekend for Tim Bedore at Wiley's Comedy Club.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yes, I am.
Yes, he is. And you can tell there's so much excitement.
Yep. Boiling over.
Show. Yeah, we were talking about briefly doing the Dead Comics tribute show. They had one at Dayton Funny Bone, and I was involved with the one at Wiley's, the Dead Comedian Society. So yes, I shaved my beard off so I could be John Belushi. So I was doing my best John Belushi, doing probably the worst Joe Cocker in the world. But I did sustain an injury. I got a nice rug burn on the elbow from rolling off the stage, but totally worth it. Because, right toward the end, I started screaming and just ran into the wall, fell down, started flipping around.
On the cocaine anyway.
Yeah, started flipping around on the stage and just rolled off the side. So. And then I got up and ran out of the room, and everybody's they were in shock, I think, and they were waiting to see if I would come back in, and I didn't. I was like, I'm done. So eventually they killed the rest of the song and brought the next comic up, which was Ed John doing Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, yeah.
It was a fun show. That was the first Dead Comedians tribute show I'd done. It was a lot of fun.
Right.
So you should do one, and I think Richard Jenney would be a perfect one.
He would be a good one, or I guess I could kill Louis C.K. and try and get on that way.
Yeah, there you go.
I always did like Richard Jenney, though.
Yeah, Richard Jenney is definitely one of my all-time favorites. Just some of the stuff he comes up with is awesome. I think I actually have some clips of his in my files because I was playing them from time to time on the air there.
Oh, yeah.
So at next break, I'll have to try to remember to throw one out there just for the hell of it. Well, we can get back to more news stories if you'd like.
Sure.
An Italian run. See, again, this is a bunch of names I can't pronounce. An Italian runner staged a memorable marathon win on Sunday after a major mistake by race officials. Ayob Faniel, 25, won the Huawei Venice, Huawei. What else can that be but Wowie? Wowie. Anyway, Venice Marathon after a motorcycle leading the 6 runners ahead of him took a wrong turn. Videos show the leaders running off for several hundred meters in the wrong direction before they realize the error and have to turn back. The incident occurred about 16 miles into the 26.2-mile race. Faniel, who runs for the local Venice Marathon Club, ended up clearing the finish line roughly 3 minutes ahead of the second-place finisher in 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 16 seconds. So really, 100 meters doesn't really account for a 3-minute loss. So I think he would have won anyway, because there was some controversy on whether or not they would consider his win official.
He ran extra, though, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't.
The other guys
He
did.
wasn't led astray by the motorcycle.
Right.
He actually went the right direction. Maybe they were just that 100 meters took so much out of him that it was
the worst episode of Greatest Race ever.
Yeah, because technically it would have been 200 meters.
Yeah.
Because 100 one way and you'd have to run 100 back to get back on the right track again. So, that would ruin your day. But still, a 3-minute loss. He won by 3 minutes, so I really don't know.
He should have took the car.
Yeah, he should have. It would have been a lot easier. At least he hopped on a motorcycle. Then if he went the wrong way,
right,
been fine. But yeah, that's why I don't run races, because you never know when you're going to be led astray,
right,
by a rogue motorcycle.
Or
I just wonder
explode.
how much the winner of the race paid that guy driving the motorcycle to run him the wrong direction, because he knew It was just the first 6 runners that ran
That
off the
took
wrong
off the
direction.
wrong way,
He
right.
knew, so he was number 7, thinking, "I got this."
Or he just
Look at
followed the
these
signs
idiots.
that said this way
Right.
and just kept running that
Yeah,
way.
that's what it was. It was a race. It was in Venice, so the signs were written in Italian, and he was the only one local that could read.
Yep.
The rest of them went the wrong direction. They should have at least had the motorcycle driver leading. Would you really need a pace motorcycle in a foot race?
It's probably more of a Vespa.
Yeah.
They say motorcycle,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm imagining Vespa.
Well, yeah, it's Venice.
All right.
It's Vespa or a speedboat. There's no other mode of
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Or a gondola.
Right,
yeah,
gondola.
yeah. He was probably standing on the Vespa and had a long pole pushing himself along, so he didn't throw everybody off, and they knew they were in Venice. Venice, which is the future of New Orleans, I think, is
Yeah.
going to be
Channels
voted, yeah,
and
which I think would work.
it'd be
They're
kind of
drunk most of
cool.
the time down there anyway, so it's not really going to matter. Okay, everyone knows the names of the famous astronauts like Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Some even remember Laika, the first dog in space. However, the first cat in space has been largely forgotten by history, probably because it couldn't hit the litter box on the shuttle.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it, the pioneering pussycat named Felicette, which that's why they don't remember. Nobody cares. It's Felicette. Anyway, it was shot into space 54 years ago this week from a base in the Sahara Desert by the it's a French version of of NASA. Well, it's French. That's French is really known for their space program.
Oh yeah.
That's really it's the I ain't even going to try it. Felicette was picked out of a group of about a dozen cats because she had the best reaction to a series of tests that included a spin in a centrifuge. Because when I'm testing a cat, that's the first place I want to put it.
I would like to see the video of these tests.
They're bound to have been released by the French
There's
government
something
by
out
now.
there.
It's kind of like I mentioned the movie The Jerk earlier, cat juggling. That's right. We have to put a stop to this. Cats in a centrifuge. I want that job.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyway, her 12-minute flight took her 97 miles above the Earth and included 5 minutes of weightlessness. Although this astro cat made history, Felicette was euthanized a few months later so scientists could study the effects of space travel on her body. Because
Get you killed. It gets you killed
yeah.
a month later.
Yeah, don't ever if the French version of NASA wants you send you into space, don't
And
do
I
it.
think that was pretty much the end of their space program. They
Yeah,
sent
they
the
had
cat
one
up,
cat.
and we are victorious, and
Yes,
that was it.
We have done all we can, sir. Kill the cat. We are finished. You're probably right. That's all they wanted to do. We have the
This is
first
the
pussy in
first and
space.
last
We are
I've
good.
heard of the French space program.
Yeah, they weren't really a big player in the space
No.
race. I don't care about Felicette. It wasn't really. That's funny actually, right there. That's kill the cat. We are done with this. We are not doing space anymore. We do not care. Give me a cigarette and a weird coffee.
Going back to desserts.
Yes, yes. So go back to the desserts and forget about the cats in space. Cats in space. A pastor who took part in the laying of hands prayer on President Donald Trump in the Oval Office last summer claims Hollywood is full of devil worshippers who engage in human sacrifice and drink the blood of children. Because that's
still better than the president.
yes. Yeah, that's here's his quote. These people are full of the devil. These people can't be reasoned with. His name is Rodney Howard Brown. Howard-Brown, because he couldn't decide on the last name, I'm guessing.
Or Rohobo.
Rohobo. That's Roho
For
Bro.
short, that's what they
Yep.
call him.
He says they have already given their soul to the devil. Are you with me? Why is that? That's a weird quote. They've already given their soul to the devil. Are you with me? These people go through seances. These people drink blood. These people sacrifice children. In a clip posted online by Right Wing Watch, Hobro added, Rohobro, that's fantastic. Added, they sacrifice children at the highest levels in Hollywood. They drink blood of young kids. This is a fact. man, I'm not sure this is not just Trump's alter ego.
Yeah.
Right here. He laid his hands on Trump and actually took possession of him at that point. Now, that's why the next thing to be exposed will be all the pedophilia that is going to come out of Hollywood and come out of Washington, D.C., because he included D.C. in this, too.
Corey Feldman's going to lead the way.
Yes, there we go. The human sacrifice and the cannibalism has been going on for years. When someone told Roho Bro that they don't do that, he insisted that, quote, it's worse than what you think. So apparently,
or better, depending on what you like.
Or better, I guess it depends. Well, that's why child actors have such a hard time.
Yeah,
because they don't have any blood left. Hollywood done drank it all. That's so Roho Bro.
Roho Bro, what the congregation probably calls him.
Yes, yeah, he's Father Roho Bro. Man, I don't even know where to go from that one. I think we're just going to end the show right now.
Just close it down, huh?
We're just going to close it down. Sorry, Luke.
Run through that NCAA list one more time and shut it down.
Yep. Listen carefully for your school's closing.
The power rankings.
The Windy City is still the rattiest city, according to an informal study, because that's the only kind we have here. For the third straight year, Chicago topped U.S. metro areas, and pest control company Orkin's top 50 rattiest cities released this week. Orkin ranked cities by the amount of rodent treatments the company completed in the year that ended September 15th. Now, that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
See, Orkin's ranking these by the amounts of treatments they do.
Right.
So they really don't have a lot of faith in their own work.
They need to do body count.
Right.
If you're going to do an accurate...
Well, you need to know how many are there. If you're going to
right.
say there are 5 million rats in this city, don't say that because you went out to kill them and failed.
Yeah, because you've treated one house 4 times. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a lot of double counting going on in there.
I think we're still the bed bug capital, though. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, why not?
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything that kills them anymore except for heat. That's why I don't have air conditioning in my home. I get rid of them every summer.
No air conditioning?
Well, I have a window unit.
Ooh.
I'm cheap.
Ooh.
I usually don't turn it on very often either.
Wow.
Yeah. I sweat.
We keep ours about 67 year-round, whether heater or cool.
Well, in the wintertime, I keep it about 62 to 64.
Wow. That's chilly.
Yeah. That's to make up for it. Make up for the summer,
Yeah.
Make up for it being so hot in the summer.
Aren't you a heating and air guy?
I am. That's why I can't afford to put one in my own home.
Well, yeah. That makes sense.
All my money went to Wiley's.
That makes sense.
Anyway, back to the rats. While the ranking is less than scientific and self-serving because it's Orkin doing it, there's other evidence that Chi-Town belongs up there among vermin hotspots. Well, there's a lot of reasons. According to DNA Info in Chicago, the nation's third largest city fielded 39,000 rat complaints in 2017, a 30% increase over 2016. So they're breeding more.
Wow.
They're breeding more rats out there. Just for the curious, I went ahead and looked this up. Dayton did not make it into the top 50 for rat complaints. However, Cincinnati come in 24th, which is up 10 spots from last year. So they're on the rise in Cincinnati. And Columbus lands at 31st, which is up 6 from last year. So I'm hoping with Cincinnati and Columbus both on the rise in rat population, Dayton will crack into that.
We'll get there.
Into that top 50
We'll get
spot.
there.
Yeah, I mean, we're poised. We're poised for a comeback in rat population.
I actually saw
we got the bed bugs back.
2 to 3 alligators or crocodiles are rescued, I guess, for lack of a better term, from Cincinnati and Dayton every year. They just find them in the wild. There's actually a documentary on Netflix called Elephant in the Living Room that follows an Oakwood officer around, and it's pretty interesting. You wouldn't think there's these exotic animals here in Dayton.
Or aminals. Either way.
Aminals crackers here in Dayton and Cincy, but it's pretty alarming.
Yeah. So they're actually finding alligators and...
Yeah, once they get too big, you just kind of turn them loose.
Well, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yep. I actually used to work with a guy who raised exotic animals, and for like $400 or $500, he could get you a lion or a tiger. I always thought that'd be a great practical joke.
$400
like
or $500.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap for a big cat.
Yeah, I was going to say that's kind of crazy.
Put that in somebody's apartment or something.
Yeah, that's $400 or $500. That's what the reason is. I know people that pay more than that for dogs.
Oh, sure. Yeah, our dog was more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never paid for a dog. I get mutts.
Yeah.
Because people want to get rid of them.
We rescued our German Shepherd from a German Shepherd breeder, actually. So.
Yeah, paying for dogs never made much sense to me, but a lion at $500, that's a steal.
That's a good bargain.
Right there.
Yeah, that's a good bargain.
Yeah, because you got to. I'm sure everything was totally legit and on the up and up, and there's no.
No, it's probably a dude in the back of an Isuzu truck.
$500 lion.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really just a large cat that they spray painted.
Yeah. It's just a big dog with one of those costumes on.
It's a mixed breed St. Bernard. You couldn't get a full-blooded St. Bernard painted to look like a lion for that price. I'm sure that's how Siegfried and Roy started out. They didn't go full-out lion.
Yeah, you don't start with a lion.
Yeah, you don't start with a lion. You're a struggling magician couple.
Yeah,
you don't start out with the real thing. You're going to have to
work your way up.
Yeah, you work your way up. And then didn't one of them get attacked by one of their lions or spray-painted dogs? Whichever.
Yeah, I think he fell. And the tiger was trying to like rescue him, and you know how like they'll carry their young by their scruff. He basically carried Roy by his scruff, and Roy's scruff didn't hold up very well.
Right. The human scruff is not what it's all cracked up to be. Sometimes you just don't carry your human babies by the neck.
Yeah,
that's never a good idea. Especially, don't let your pet lion carry your human babies by the neck. That's words to live by, or for your kids to live by, because they're not going to make it if you let them do things like that. I don't even think it's a good idea to let your dog carry your kids by their neck.
Yeah, it depends on the age.
Depends on the kid. Yeah, it depends on the kid and their age. Yeah, because I don't have kids, but if I did, I'm sure every now and then I would want my dog to grab him by the neck.
Right. So you didn't have to go through the candy inspection, the post trick or treat candy inspection for.
No,
there's always this rumor that people are going to lace candy or spike candy, and I have yet to ever find any.
Yeah, that's been going on since because when we were kids, we were warned about that.
Right,
it's like, check them for razor blades.
Yeah,
like, really?
Yeah, that was always the thing. Like somebody's going to surgically open a Snickers bar or something, or because an apple, you're just going to throw an apple away. That's the most likely thing to have a razor blade in it, I would think.
Right, and no kid's going to say, "Ooh, an apple for."
Yeah.
And you had all the people that made their homemade treats. You always got the popcorn balls.
Yeah,
that break your teeth
that usually
off.
Goes straight to the trash.
Yeah, pretty much. You don't want the kids eating the homemade stuff. You don't know what's in there.
Right. Cat hair and everything else.
Yeah, and whatever kind of drugs they lace it with. You don't want to, because there are predators out there that are just trying to get everybody high by giving them free, like crack laced popcorn balls.
Those don't sound too bad, actually. I
mean, Well, I'm bringing them for the show next time.
Nice.
Give us a little more energy, Joe. It'll be a really exciting show then. We had our crack-laced popcorn balls. We're good to go. Oh, okay. President Donald Trump. We'll go ahead with another news story, and then we'll take a break. And it's always good when it starts out President Donald Trump, because it can only get better from there. Got a salute as his motorcade drove through Washington, D.C. on Thursday evening, but it wasn't one of a military nature. A pool report? I don't know. Reports that the press accompanying the president spotted someone offering the passing motorcade a moon. The report from Yahoo's Hunter Walker states, as we rode up Connecticut Avenue, there were several clusters of onlookers. One group cheered the motorcade. A man with a baby on his shoulders waved. Just shy of Tilden Street, several of the riders in the press van reported seeing a man mooning the motorcade from one of the lower floors of an apartment building. One of our colleagues stated that was a full moon. It is not clear if Trump witnessed the display. Ironically, the full moon happened just hours before the actual new moon. So, how did they determine it was a full moon?
It's fake news. It didn't happen.
Yeah, fake news. Fake news. So
I think if it's both cheeks,
is that what determines? I mean, it's not the size of each cheek. It's just the.
I think if it's
have
both
you ever
cheeks,
just
if it's just like the crack, I think it's a waning moon.
Oh, okay.
But if it's the whole thing, I think it's full. Is it waning or waning?
Can you do just the crack? I mean, I get just like the top of
you
both
can't
cheeks.
just do
because just the crack, that would be like wearing
you'd have to have
assless
some
chaps,
funny pants. Yeah. You could have
that's
like
a crescent
a
moon
breakaway down the center. Yeah. Somebody's going to make those pants now.
They have to, yeah. Well, I'm sure they exist already. There's some weird websites out there with all kinds of strange stuff. Yeah. And I'm sure somebody has jeans with butt flaps removed.
With a fly in the rear.
Yeah. Yep, it's a fly. That's what it is. It's a fly for catching flies. It's like a penis fly trap or something like that. I don't know. That's terrible. On that note, I think I'm just going to resign. No, we're going to
shut it down.
Shut her down. We're finished. I'm going to play a little more Potter's Field. Let me pick a song. Fell from Grace. I think that's fitting. I think that's very fitting for this show right now. So we're going to play that, and we will be back here shortly with Mr. Luke Capasso.
Way down
Wednesdays on Eventide, Robert Yetter and Mike Shea sit down and throw albums at each other, talking about them, picking them apart, ripping them a new one. All different artists, all different genres, all different levels of suckage. It's Track Record, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. on the Eventide podcast feed. For more information, go to eventideent.com. Are you into making music, videos, or podcasts? Are you a local comedic talent in need of some much-needed publicity? Are you a behind-the-scenes professional interested in audio, video production, graphic design, and public relations? Eventide Entertainment is actively seeking talents, clients, and professionals to help our business grow into something truly special. And we want you to be one of those. For more information, go to facebook.com/Eventide Entertainment or send us an email at eventideent@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back to the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith. With me in the studio, Joe Robinette sticking around. And,
He is.
And we're now joined by Luke Capasso, with the fabulous beard. If only I had mine. I don't like my face either. My wife won't even, she said she won't even look at me until my beard's grown back. Okay, you're gonna have to get closer to that mic because it barely picked you up there. It beardly picked you up there. Talk now. Tell us something. That thing is not picking you up at all. Hey, there we go. Try it now.
How about now?
Hey, we can hear you.
All right.
Luke Capasso, let's start over.
I insulted you
That
a
was
lot.
a test.
Yeah,
that was just a test run.
We're on
to see
now.
if your mic really is on now.
All right, good. I was just thinking maybe just didn't pick up any sort of negative comments about your face, so that was it was self-edited.
Yeah, that was real. I did that on purpose because I knew you were going to have bad things to say about my face.
Your eyes are still fantastic, though.
That's good. That's good. My eyes, as long as I got my eyes and my voice and my breasts, I'm happy.
Yeah,
I can just all day long.
Your milkshakes will bring them all to the yard.
That's for sure. So, what's been going on? You, I know I brought you on because you spent some time over the summer over in Edinburgh Fringe Fest.
Yes, I did.
That looked like it'd be a exciting bunch of craziness right there.
That was really a lot of fun. That's been good. It's good you got me the right time because you got me back humbled as I'm just sitting around in Yellow Springs in my van, just staring out the window. And
because you live in a van down by the river.
I wish I had a river. Yeah, no, I went there this summer as the Fringe Festival. This is my first time going from the U.S. to there. But normally I was in the U.K. for a while, and I used to go up every year. But it's sort of it's kind of hard to explain. But it's the entire month of August. It's the whole city. The city of Edinburgh is kind of this kind of gothic sort of city, and everything's sort of cramped to the downtown area. It's got the most pubs per capita in the UK, which is very impressive because they like pubs and drinking. So yeah, it's a really old. The festival is about 50-some years old now. No, I'm sorry, it's the 70th something anniversary of the festival. I'm not sure, but yeah, and you just put your show on for the month, and you.
So for the whole month, you just go
whole month, the entire month of August. Yeah,
different venues or.
Well, no, you do a bunch of spots, but you put in for a show. American Comedy Festival, you'll have basically be like showcase nights. Like someone will put it on, and you'll do like 10 minutes in different spots around town, or all in the same place. But here they offer you venues and times, like time slots, an hour time slot, and you put in for your hour time slot. You can either split it up with other people, or you just do a whole hour yourself. Yeah, so this year I did a whole hour myself, and then it was they give you one day off in the middle. You have a day off, whatever Monday, because Monday's usually slow anyway. But
now, is it just a comedy festival, or is there everything?
Everything and anything.
Just
not this year.
Whatever's on the fringe of everything
It's
else.
like the Renaissance Festival with comics.
Pretty. It was initially like performing arts and music. And comedy sort of slowly just took over like a...
Comedy does that.
Yeah.
Except on this show. It was...
Yeah. We force it out.
Yeah, on this show, we try everything to get comedy to take over. And it has yet to show up.
Roll the red carpet out, and it's not coming.
Yep. Well, you roll the red carpet out and it just pees on it. That's, you know, you can't train it. It's like that cat in space. You can't train it to go in the litter box.
Yeah.
Comedy's like that. After a month after it shows up, you just got to kill it and end the whole space program.
Was that really a problem in the story? Like they thought the cat would use a litter box?
No,
Okay.
no, I was just being silly.
Did they actually bring a cat into space?
Yeah, there was the
French.
the French.
It's the extent of the French space program.
Just it's not a person. They just sent a
Just
cat.
one cat,
a cat named Felicette.
Mm.
And they sent it up. That was back like 54
which is
years
French
ago.
for dead space
Yeah,
cat.
dead catstronaut.
But then they realized the
Astronaut.
skunk got in there, but then this paint got on the back of the skunk, and the skunk was trying to rape it all the time through space.
That's what it was. It was Pepe Le Pew in space.
Yeah.
But yeah, a month after the cat came back from space, they killed it and studied its body to determine the damage of space travel on a cat.
On a cat.
Right. So
now we know.
Yeah.
so
It's
yeah,
good.
that's probably something that should be in the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
Is,
That would be a
that-
good show.
yeah.
That would be the
It
basis
would,
for a
yeah.
show. Yeah. Yeah.
But
La
it is
Petite cat in space.
comedy over in Edinburgh. Is it what are the major differences between states?
All right.
And,
Okay. Between American comedy and that, because Edinburgh basically, not just the UK, but like Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, a lot of basically American, non-English speaking countries that aren't America. It does in a lot of ways. That sort of shapes the year. That's where you're either going to get signed, you're going to get picked up for a TV show, anything like that. Is you take your show up there. It's like a trade show, and you have to sell your show above the 1.5 billion other shows that are up there. So unlike a lot of American comedy specials, it's basically just a bunch of bits, like, and they just give it a name, like, I don't know, Richard Pryor, Here and Now. Like, it's not like a themed, but they're like, you must have sort of a, I don't know if you've ever seen Stuart Huff. Stuart Huff is the closest. Actually, that's almost dead balls, like a UK style hour.
So there's a theme to the set, to the
Yeah.
hour even, huh?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's sort of crowbarred in. Like,
Right.
you have bits and you try to, like, you sidebar and you talk about it so you can do this bit,
Sure.
and then you go back to it. But, because essentially you're trying to sell it to people right away on the street. Like, what is this show about? You're just like, well, I do some jokes about this, I do some jokes about that. You say, well, it's whatever, sort of this theme, like mine.
Okay,
Dad.
so it's just the whole set. should
My
be
dad was a
themed.
baker, and I'm talking about dad being a baker, like, or whatever kind of weird thing you're going to
Okay.
talk about. So, yeah, so they kind of.
So not a lot of one-liner.
Oh no,
style.
they still have a lot of one-liners. There's like actually the British, they love a one-liner guy or a pun guy or that sort of kind of silliness there. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times American comics, they'll get way more personal in their bits than the British do, but that's more also cultural. Like Americans, we like to talk about ourselves, and
Well, yeah,
we all think
the
we're
big
all
egos no matter
amazing,
what,
and
yeah.
yeah.
Which we are. It's
No.
America.
Yeah, America. Yeah.
We're so much more bigly.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah. God blessed us.
Yeah.
God came down here. And he just mistakenly put people here first.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Well, we sorted that out for God.
we don't believe that whole,
Yeah,
we were here first.
yeah.
And then
But yeah, so that part, yeah, there's a good bit of difference. I mean, I'm not saying one's better than the others. Like some way, like in some ways, they like clever over funny. Sometimes, like if it's just something
they
like it's
prefer
just
something witty and
yeah, something's just like even if people are like holding their stomach laughing, but it's not. They won't get as good a reviews as someone. This man made me think. It's like I thought it was a comedy show. I thought they meant
Right.
the goal was
Well, we
make
were
people
supposed to
laugh
make
as
it
hard
laugh,
as possible. But sometimes that will get good crowds, but won't necessarily get like the reviews and the awards as somebody who really just opened your mind to French cats and
right.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
French cats in space.
Yeah,
Because I think that's what comedy needs more of.
yeah,
is,
exactly. Yeah,
French
some
cats.
existential
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
We need to celebrate all of our feline astronauts.
But also, like all in all, like that festival.
Even if it's Franco-feline astronauts.
See, we went straight monkey. Did we? Russians went with a dog.
Yeah.
And we went with a
well,
monkey.
we probably did rats first. There's usually a hierarchy of what we're sending up to space.
I always like the idea of that monkey coming back being real smart or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Or he just keeps going. He's like, I'm not
yeah,
going
they
back.
made a movie.
Yeah, like we need to
similar
change the thrusters. It can speak now, and it's making changes to the capsule when it returns. And
Gets lost, and they come back and they find it later, and he's...
Yeah. And then they take over the whole planet, and one of the other astronauts we have up there goes through a time warp, and
Then he starts the
Sounds
NRA,
very
or
familiar.
founds the NRA or whatever. He gets real right-wing.
Yeah.
Starts holding rallies after kids get killed. Make sure no one takes his gun. Yeah.
Damn dirty ape.
Damn dirty liberals.
Oh, man. This is still a low energy show. It just feels like I'm
It's
fighting
rainy day,
fighting
it's
this.
so
It's a
good.
rainy day. I'm fighting this sinus infection. Joe's here.
Joe's
we did
here. I like that.
always
Just
laid back. Just blame me.
like an anchor on our canoe.
Yeah.
We're just paddling our ass
I
off.
ain't
but Joe's
paddling.
here. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here.
I'm gonna pull that anchor up a little bit over there, Luke.
Yeah.
We're dying here.
Well,
And,
Droopy Joe.
we read off the school closings before we came on.
Yep.
We came on the show right before, and we're going through the top 25 rankings of college. It was football, wasn't it?
Riveting stuff.
Yeah, it was riveting because it was actually reading.
I was gonna say, do either of you guys watch college football?
No, not a clue.
That's awesome.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
To me, it just sounded like they were reading off school closings.
And-
I was waiting for them to say Wright State, and I was going to go back home. So,
When I was in the UK, I used to get invited a lot on this radio show called Americarnage, which was talking about like American sports. And I'm like, dude, I don't really watch it anymore. And they're like, it's fine. You still sound with more authority than we do. And I didn't believe it because they knew a lot about football. But then I got on there. I was like, no, I definitely do. You guys sound like you have like they would say onside kick, like the little squib kick at the beginning, or no, they'd say it like
kick.
the little short side kick or something like this on the pitch. And I was like, you are terrible. You should stop.
Just stick with soccer. You're so good at it.
Yeah, you got your thing. We don't.
and cricket.
Yeah.
So don't talk about the football batsman.
Don't talk about the pitch or whatever else.
So how long were you over? Because I know you were over in.
I was in London for
yeah.
about 7 years
7
until
years.
2 years ago, and I came back to beautiful Dayton area.
They kicked you out. London wasn't big enough for you.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's too much for them. No, my ex brought my lovely kids back here, and something about being around them. So I don't know what it is. Yeah,
it's good to have you back.
I guess.
Yeah, we'll take you back.
Yeah, you guys would take anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, over there 7 years, did you ever find yourselves talking with an English accent? See, because when I go down south to visit family, I come back, I have a twang.
Honestly,
and I speak with an accent.
Weirdly, when I'm over there, my accent actually gets more because they sound like people from the South, but like the way their cadence they speak and sort of the words they use, like they'll say like they reckon, they still say like not to get all Stephen Fry. Watch a documentary about American English, right? Southern American English is closer to the original English than the people in England, because it was like a colony, and then England had like a Reformation, and they changed the way they speak. But in the South, they didn't have as many immigrants as the North, so they didn't change as much.
Right, and they probably haven't read a book since they came over.
Exactly.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. They don't like learning. They don't like change.
Yep, they just let's just stick with this. Let's not change any words. We're good, I reckon.
We don't need your fancy new talk.
Fancy new book learning.
Yeah.
Your fancy new written words. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We love the South.
Yeah, we love the South. Unload, please.
Yes.
Put the safety back on. Yeah, so
but if you decide not to, my name is John Morris, I guess.
But sometimes I
Throw
still
John under it.
like use their slang sometimes without thinking about it, and or I'll like they'll say it's been sorted. Like they'll say like something's
that.
ready, and that's like real concise kind of
Sorted, not sorted.
Yeah, SORTED.
Right.
Like I sorted it out, or And sometimes I'll mess up, like instead of like the food went bad, it's gone off. You know, like it's like a bomb exploded. Yeah,
I've had food gone off before.
And not that I'm in any way endorsing this or say I've ever done it, but sometimes they use different slang for illegal substances, and I'll forget which one's which, and then I'll feel like I'm standing there sounding like a cop, like I can't get the slang right. I'm like, which one's the American one? Which one's the English one?
So what are they? What are the English slang
like
for
we'll say like
substances?
Mandy or Molly, right? One, I think it's Molly in the U.S. and Mandy over there, but I mix them up all the time. But so then if I'm gonna go talk like which one would like, not that I was trying to buy it or any way,
right,
but I was just discussing it with
just in case
people in the industry.
You never know when you're going to need to know things.
Yeah.
So you can put it in a police report when somebody does something
exactly.
bad
So I can
near
turn
you.
them into the cops so they clean the neighborhood up.
Exactly. Yeah. Because neighborhood, you live in an RV, don't you?
Exactly.
So you have an
yeah. It's actually it's a narc vehicle. I'm a big cop.
Yeah,
that's why I'm in
the dish up top and all the listening devices. I got you.
Yeah.
You're wearing a wire, aren't you? Right today.
This
here.
is it always.
Yeah. Because usually these conversations that I have in this booth, they don't leave here.
Good.
Nobody
Good.
listens.
Nobody.
No.
This is the
There's a couple
safest
people
place.
passing in the hall, and I think that's about all
we
we
could do a drug
got.
deal right now, and nobody would know.
Yeah.
Except you're wearing a wire, so we're busted.
Yeah.
Good job, Luke.
Sorry about that. Yeah. It's my job, man.
Yeah, the whole privacy of this radio show has just gone out the window.
Just dusted.
Oh, that's terrible. Did we want to hit some news? Or is there more to talk about? What else do we have
I
to
don't
talk
know
about?
what else you might like to know. I would say, I'll tell you this: if you ever get the chance to go, have the show to put on. You can just go, and there's so many spots you can do. Like I was probably like a slow day, I would get 3 spots.
Wow,
that I wasn't really trying to. And toward the end, people like begging you to do spots because they're like, it's like.
Didn't you do like an hour, like 20 days in a row or something?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Wow.
You do your hour. Actually, I basically did my hour. And then the last week and a half, I was on this panel show. The British love a panel show. Kind of improv-y show. It's like a sort of like what this one was called Quiz My Pants, really. And they would ask you some sort of weird question, like if you could be an appliance, which one would you be? And of the 4 comics, whichever one has the best answer wins. And
that's Quiz My Pants.
It was run like
they
a bar
do like
quiz.
that format there, though, like Graham Norton and the one guy that's on late after, I can't think of his name, James Corden has kind of done that format now, which seems to be working for him.
That's a very, if you watch TV in the UK, there's about 40 shows like that.
Yeah.
And 1, it's cheap to make, and 2, it puts all you don't have many writers. All of it's just put on the comics, really.
Kind of like this show. Yeah, no writers.
Wing it.
It's all on you guys to keep this conversation going. I'm really.
That's why it's going where it's going.
Exactly.
It's going to go exactly.
Did you have anybody
go.
dump beer on your head this time? Because there's a YouTube video out there where
that's my 15 minutes of fame right there.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. That's all I got. Pretty much.
Do you remember what it was you said to upset that young woman?
I was making her girlfriend laugh.
Oh,
and
we can't have that.
Or apparently they just had split up or something. I'm not really sure. But
during your show,
it's maybe. I bring a lot of people together, so
and tear a lot of them apart.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I should be mad about it, but actually, really, any sort of TV credits or anything I got is all 100%.
There was a split second there on your face. You looked pretty mad about it, and then you got it together and kept it going pretty good.
It was very professional.
Yeah.
I was about to Hulk out.
Yeah. You could see there's just a split second there where Luke looks mad.
Yeah. Well, I looked up,
which we saw a bit of that at the Feather show out on the street.
Yeah,
that
with our
brought
friend
it out of me.
there.
I haven't felt that kind of rage in a long time.
Yeah.
And
how'd your closing set go that night?
As good as you could imagine.
Because I headed out. I went up to I went to watch Greg Hahn.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I wasn't even going to go up, dude. I didn't want it. I was going to just say pass, and then
I didn't want to. I actually had a decent set. He came up to me after and said he enjoyed it, and it's like, man, I can't. He tried to shake my hand. It's like, man, I can't shake your hand.
Yeah, we're not all right.
Yeah.
But I'll say he was the. I got to give him respect because I said not many people can get me mad like that, but something about him,
Yeah.
his trolling ability.
Yeah.
It was almost because he was too stupid to realize what he was. He thought he was helping, like
Yeah,
everything he
he
did
was.
was good.
This is what comedy is nowadays.
And so
You comedians don't even know that.
I wanted to slap him back into this reality that everyone
Yeah.
else was in.
Yeah, but I don't think he's been in any kind of reality in a long time.
No.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'd have to really slap him a lot, which
Yeah.
would be fun. It would be.
He asked Amelia Robinson for a knife. The writer for, is that her name, right? That's her name. Yeah, the entertainment writer for WHIO.
Oh, I don't.
She was walking down the street as we were doing the show. He asked her if she happened to have a knife he could have. And it's like,
Oh,
no, she
Oh,
didn't.
brilliant.
Fortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, it could have. You know.
that's the thing coming back. So I kind of think like a lot of people in this country carry guns. And,
Yeah.
you can't just go run
Yeah,
around
that's-
acting like they
yep.
don't carry guns. You know.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's I don't carry one on stage.
Yeah.
I think that would be bad.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Yeah. It's my favorite, one of my now current favorite Simpsons clips when McBain's on stage and he's like, "That was a joke. You suck, McBain," and then he wastes the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, that's American comedy right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Laugh at me or I will shoot you.
That was a joke.
I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah,
A long
it's an
time
early
ago.
one. Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
with the Arnold Schwarzenegger McBain
Yeah,
character.
I remember McBain.
His foray into stand-up comedy. Yeah,
I think I've seen one full episode of The Simpsons.
Really?
even the old
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what's wrong with you.
it
Maybe
is.
There was something
That's
just off.
That's what's missing.
Oh. Oh man, when I was
Now,
a kid,
South
that
Park.
was the
South
only.
Park's a good one.
Yeah, that's all I could
Yeah.
wait for all week was that Sunday night.
Simpsons?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I used to like them. Every now and then they got all preachy and weird.
yeah,
Hmm.
You know, it's kind of like it. There are certain episodes of certain shows I don't like if they center them around a certain character.
yeah.
Like I used to watch King of the Hill years ago, and if it was a Bobby episode or a Peggy Hill episode, I hated them. They were
Yeah.
annoying. There was only
You
one.
hate women and children.
That,
is what you're saying.
yeah, but pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right.
There was one Bobby centric episode that I liked, and that was when he had ADHD,
Oh,
and
all
they
right.
put him on Ritalin.
Of course, Bobby
It
would
was
grow
funny.
up to become Ryan Haroff.
Right. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in that episode, they first put him on the Ritalin. He's sitting at the breakfast table. He's got this weird look in his face, and he just goes, "There's some milk in the fridge that's about to go bad." And there it goes. That just cracked me up.
Yeah.
It's just stupid stuff like that. But
I remember when we were in school, like, there were a couple kids that took Ritalin, and it's like they were crazy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's who they met. Now it's like they all take it, ADD meds or Ritalin. I think Ritalin's still reserved for the crazy ones, but
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's any kid that now we're going to get real unfunny. It's going to get real political.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
any
you
kid.
go.
Yeah, it's like this kid's can't sit still and he's talking. Yeah, it's like he's a 8-year-old boy.
yeah,
Like,
what is
yeah.
crazy.
He's acting like a little kid.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't have that. They need to
Yeah.
be zombies like the rest of us.
There's
Yeah.
something wrong with this boy. He doesn't want to sit in a chair for 8 hours a day and listen.
Yeah, what is wrong with him?
Yeah,
There must be some kind of medication he needs to be.
yeah.
on. Let's
These kids
make
are
something
wrestling.
up.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Now there were some that needed to be on something.
Oh yeah.
Well, like Joe was talking about, there were some. There was one in particular actually in teenage years pulled a gun on me.
Mm.
Mm, hello. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't work to his advantage,
Yeah.
but I was a little meaner back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I think it's time to take a break.
I only used that gun because you were a lot bigger than I was. And,
right.
I would still use it now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's a great equalizer.
Yeah, that it is, and he needed something. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna play a song, and take a break, and probably take a nap. Hell, I don't know. It's getting down to the.
Yeah.
It's just hard. All right, we'll be back here shortly.
Are you into making music, videos, or podcasts? Are you a local comedic talent in need of some much-needed publicity? Are you a behind-the-scenes professional interested in audio, video production, graphic design, and public relations? Eventide Entertainment is actively seeking talents, clients, and professionals to help our business grow into something truly special. And we want you to be one of those. For more information, go to facebook.com/Eventide Entertainment or send us an email at eventideent@gmail.com.
All right, we are back on the Life radio show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in the studio with Luke Capasso and Joe Robinette, just having a ball.
Hardly noticed we were gone.
Yeah. You didn't know we were. You didn't know we weren't on the air the whole
Nope,
time.
just
You
thought
still
we were
everything
still
you said
rolling.
was still into that microphone.
Yeah.
You're going to try to take it with you when you leave, so you can keep talking into it.
Maybe they'll pay attention to me at home.
Yeah. Is there trouble at home, Joe?
Nah.
Because we're not talking about it on the air.
Because I don't care.
That's not why we're here.
Yep. Unfortunately, everything we talked about during the break, we can't talk about on the air. So
Yeah. How do you like
it's
that,
all,
home
but
audience?
it's all recorded right
Yeah,
there.
good.
Yeah, you are left out on a joke because it was funny,
Yeah.
and
The
you
show
don't know
got
anything
really good.
about it.
And now we're back.
Yep, and now we're back. So no more humor. We're just
Trying to stay
we're just
consistent.
going to sit here, and I have the top 25 rankings of college teams. We're going to go through those again. Oh, that's just terrible. All right, let's hit some news stories now, just to do something, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't done
What
that yet.
else you got? KFC's Twitter game is finger licking good.
All right, I'm going to just put this on a side note. I was going to blow them up, but I didn't. But on my feed, it says KFC, and all it said is Phil Pointer and Aaron Phillips likes KFC. Like, that's all. Like, you know how it gives suggested friends like something?
Oh, yeah.
And I
Seems
was,
like a given.
yeah, and I was
that's-
going to be like,
yeah.
do you like it so much that you need to follow it on Facebook as well? Like, I mean, be like, I've known I've liked KFC for a long time. I don't know that the social media presence is improving the experience of the chicken for me. But
Yeah, I think the only thing that should follow KFC is Imodium AD.
That's
right. Maybe Tums. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, usually, the only thing for me that follows KFC is explosive diarrhea, so I don't need
Yeah, it's all worth it.
Anyway, in a marketing move that Colonel Sanders himself would have been proud of, which Colonel Sanders didn't know what Twitter was. He wasn't there when he was here, so
No.
I don't know if he could be proud of it or not. They're making a lot of assumptions in this news story. Anyway, the marketing move that Colonel Sanders himself would have been proud of if they had Twitter before he died. Someone on Twitter noticed the fast food chain is highly selective about who it follows on the microblogging service. As Twitter user @Edgit22, which could be Father Time, I'm not sure. He noted that Thursday KFC only follows 11 people, the 5 former members of the Spice Girls and 6 men named Herb.
Shut.
11 herbs and spices. Isn't that cute?
My God.
Yeah, so that's apparently that's just stupid, but I guess it's clever in a weird way.
I don't feel like that was a real news story.
Yeah, it's
bamboozled.
it was a snippet. That wasn't a news story. That was a snippet. Just like, hey,
Really excited about some KFC news.
yeah, KFC 11 herbs and spices are all they follow. 20,000. That's the number of helium-filled balloons that it took to lift an artist off the ground on Sunday during a gravity-defying art installation reminiscent of the beloved Pixar movie Up. For 9 hours, the colorful array of party balloons suspended artist Naomi, Lackmeyer, before spectators inside of Australia's Sydney Opera House. The unusual performance, which is part of the Opera House's Antidote Festival, was called Cherophobia, the fear of happiness. So apparently 20,000 party balloons lifted an artist
Inside
up
the building.
Inside the building.
That's weak.
I get they should have had some ceiling fans. That's how they got her
I
down.
did watch this thing. This is a dude in South Africa, and he's trying to set up this. It's like an adventure company, and it's a lawn chair filled with weather balloons. And you go, and like once you to come down, you just cut one at a time, and it slowly starts bringing you down. But it actually looked pretty cool. It looked pretty. It was like it wasn't like a little lawn chair. It was a good size. You're pretty well strapped in there.
Right.
He said, yeah, so long as the wind doesn't blow you out over the ocean, you're good to go. But Yeah, or drop you in the middle of the jungle somewhere. But,
I would wear a life jacket just in case.
just in case, yeah.
But no, this was inside of the Sydney Opera House, and it only had her a little bit above the.
For 9 hours, we watched someone
for
fill
9
balloons,
hours. This is
essentially what you watch.
that is exciting.
We watched someone getting ready for a party.
Yeah, we need to have somebody in the studio do that.
Yeah.
We'll broadcast for 9 hours with them just hovering
With these low ceilings.
with these low ceilings. Well, that way they don't get too high up.
Yeah,
we don't want to have to shoot them down.
Yeah, we don't want
They
to
get
get hurt.
just high enough up that the lights will start popping the balloons, and they'll come down on their own.
Yeah, nice.
So, and nobody gets hurt that way.
Yeah.
I've never been to Sydney Opera House. I don't know how high the ceilings are.
If I sat through
Could be
9
way
hours
up
of that,
there.
I wouldn't shoot the balloons. I would shoot
Right,
that
you'd
person.
be aiming at the artist.
Yeah. Like,
That could have been what they were going for.
yeah.
There's no guns in Australia, though,
Yeah,
so
that's
they
the problem.
got to let crap like that go on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no
That's-
way to
that's-
stop it,
That's,
short of
yeah.
ceiling fans.
They just clanking boomerangs off her head ain't going to do the trick.
It was a scene that you need to see. Need, K-N-E-A-D, need to see to believe. A dump truck carrying dough spilled its contents on a Washington interstate on Monday after authorities said the heat caused the dough to rise.
Who
Just
gets
when you-
their dough in a dump truck?
Yeah, exactly. that is an odd place to. That's. I'm guessing Panera. I don't know. When you think you've seen it all, dough. State Trooper Brooke Bova, which that's kind of a that's what they said when you think you've seen it all, dough. That's kind of a stupid.
Dough you did.
Yeah, that dough you did it.
Yeah.
The heat was making it rise. Said it easily appeared to have Bova easily appeared to have a. I'm done with that. Dough in a truck, we're good.
Yeah. No mo dough.
No mo dough. Well, we already had Hono Bro, or what was it?
Something like that.
Hojo Bro, or something I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The inventor of a sex robot has revealed he is ready to make a baby with his machine. Samantha, using a mixture of the couple's traits. Sergey Santos, who shared his Barcelona home with his wife, Maritza Kisimataki. I don't know what he was kissing, but it was apparently her taki.
Yeah.
It could have been Kisimatako. I don't know.
Or toaster.
Yeah. It shares Barcelona home with Maritza Kisimataki and a family of silicone sex dolls. Says he's ready to take the next step with his plastic partner and boasts that it will be extremely simple.
Maybe it was just a Teddy Ruxpin with a hole cut in it and some ham stuffed in there.
He believes it's only a matter of time before marriage to sex robots becomes the norm because he's a crazy person and thinks starting a family with
I don't
them.
think he's that crazy.
No,
Well, that's
you
true.
can turn those robots off.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't know
good
why
point.
you need to take
That's a
it to the
good point.
courthouse and marry it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's a sex robot. It's not going to hold out for a bigger ring.
Yeah.
But he thinks that starting a family with them will be easy to execute. Sergey says, I can make them have a baby. It's not so difficult. I would love to have a child with a robot. Using the brain I have already created, I would program it with a genome so he or she could have moral values plus concepts of beauty, justice, and the values that humans have. He doesn't know many
What
humans.
Yeah, who does he hang out with?
Then to create a child with this robot, it would be extremely simple. I would make an algorithm of what I personally believe about these concepts and then shuffle it
I
with
figured
what
he'd
she
just say
thinks,
something vulgar like, I
then
will stick my penis.
then 3D print it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I don't
exactly
think-
what someone's child is. Just the perfect
Yeah,
mix of
yeah,
both of your
exactly.
values
3D
shuffled
printed.
together.
It's a 3D version
Yeah.
of what the two were individually.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Not the
So we're gonna-
result of both of your crazy. No.
Right. Right. Only put the good traits into your children,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
Now I wonder with this child robot, are they going to be able to damage it mentally like they would their own children?
I should hope.
Yeah,
You know,
it don't be
to
fair,
emotionally
really.
stun it, and if it
Yeah.
grows,
Just get it close to the microwave, if nothing else.
This is
That's its punishment.
Yep.
Go stand by the
You just
microwave.
stand in the kitchen with your head on the microwave.
there's a sick custody battle between this robot and her baby robot. And
Yeah, that would be rough.
I wonder what the wife, the human flesh wife, is sitting in the other room thinking, like, what did I do? Like,
Why?
This gentleman is eccentric.
I think it keeps him off me.
Well, because
he's not
as long as
technically
he's busy, I don't care.
Technically cheating on me, I guess.
Yeah, he says. So where's it head?
He's just having sex with all the appliances in the house.
Yeah,
other than that.
Yeah, because he shares his home with his wife and a family of silicone sex, not just one or two. Family.
You mean a closet?
Oh, he's in
Which-
deep. Yeah,
yeah.
he's got parts everywhere and like arms in the living
Right.
room and heads and
Why would they call it a
Unbuilt
family
ones.
though? Is it like mother, father, and kid? I mean, that's the
Maybe
family.
they're his
It's a whole different definition of family.
That means I have a
guess.
kitchen with a family of appliances in it.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, you have a refrigerator, microwave, stove.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a family of appliances.
Yeah. Once you start getting busy with them, then
go
they'd
through
be
that place with a black light. I bet the wife moves out.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. Man. Yeah, I wouldn't take anything that he offered me to eat.
No.
No.
Like where'd you make that toast? You see that toaster? No, I don't want.
Yeah, I made a robot that makes toast. Yeah, all right, and other things too, I'm sure. I'll make mine by hand the old-fashioned way.
Yep. Damn it, Sergey! Do you have to stick your penis in everything?
Yeah.
Just test it.
What is the
quality control?
Why does the toast making robot have all these holes in it?
Yep, quality control. That's man. That's because he'd have to test them to make sure they work before.
The
he sent
sad
them
part
out.
is Sergey's probably on the vanguard of the future. That's
Yeah.
what it is. He's the tip of the spear. Yeah. He's
he's designing that next.
Yeah.
The bigger spear. That's
Yeah.
what.
but maybe by the time we're 70 or 80, they'll have good robots, good convincing
Yeah.
robots, and
God, I hope.
You got
Things
to
right
be
in
careful.
old
You got to
age,
be
yeah.
careful with the toaster though, because I know of people that have been electrocuted just trying to get a piece of toast out with a knife.
yeah.
So no
So
telling
I'd
what's
love
going
to be able
happen to you.
to wipe a woman's memory out after we were done, like just to turn that part off. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a story you can't
Yep.
tell anyone.
Yeah. Be like the Jedi mind trick with robots. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
I was never here.
Yeah.
It's not my child.
Yeah. Except when you die and then they
This
go
is not
through
the
your
father
stuff
figure you're looking for.
and your house is just full of sex robots. It don't matter what you accomplished in your lifetime. That's how you're going to be
Broken ones,
remembered.
Yeah.
half torsos.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even your
Yeah, 'cause
kids
I'd imagine
they
he'd
clear
just, like-
dad's place out and it's just full of just busted up sex robots.
Yeah.
I don't care if you designed a better bridge. That's how you're going to remember.
Yeah.
As
I
long as
don't
the
care
lube
if you
and,
were.
lube and sex robots.
Yeah, if you were responsible for space travel, you have, because I'd imagine having, like you said, he'd have to have several parts lying around. So I'd
Yeah.
imagine he wouldn't put them all together. Would he just have like certain pieces laying around?
Oh yeah,
for easier
yeah.
access,
There'd be like
you know?
just like a bottom torso, just
Yeah.
standing in the hallway, with no breeches on or anything, just naked and
Yep, just
yeah.
bent over with it like it's going into the wall or something,
Yeah.
so you wouldn't even have to,
Yeah, yeah. Very
in
convenient.
case you're just walking by.
Yeah.
Part of an end table, you can just set your beer down. You're good to go.
He actually sounds like a genius, really.
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge anyone.
I'm getting some design ideas of my own home.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, is that movie Ex Machina? I think it's called. It wasn't too bad. That's
Oh, I haven't
kind
seen it.
of along those lines.
I don't
All
think
right.
I've seen that one. I've seen Frankenhooker. That's one of my favorites. it's a good season for Frankenhooker too. Have you ever seen that
Frankenhooker.
movie?
No.
Oh, it is fantastic. It is
All
one
right.
of the worst cheesy low budget movies. What happens is this guy's an inventor, and he's a brilliant inventor, and he makes this huge lawnmower that is self propelled, and it's a robot lawnmower, and unfortunately it runs over his fiance and cuts her to pieces. Well, he wasn't able to find all the pieces because he wants to put her back together.
All right.
So what he did is he developed this really high-powered drug that basically makes people's heads explode. So he goes out and he parties with some prostitutes, and next thing you know, all their heads are exploding, and he has all these body parts to use to rebuild his wife. And it's Frankenhooker.
Nice.
And one of the best parts is because he wants to mix and match all the body parts. So he's got like 20 dead hookers cut to pieces and in this refrigerator.
Same old story.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
the method he uses to bring Frankenhooker back to life at the end, unfortunately, some of the chemical leaks into their refrigerator, so all these body parts are now alive.
Nice.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
if you ever get a chance, see Frankenhooker. It is fantastic.
Nice.
It is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life, and I absolutely loved it because I love those really bad low budget horror movies.
Yeah.
That are just so cheesy. Because another good one, Dead Alive. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Not seen that.
Because speaking of body parts, that's actually Peter Jackson who directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That was one of his early works, was Dead Alive. All right, and it is fantastic. It's set in Australia, and there's just so many scenes in that are just perfect because it's all has to do with zombies. His mom gets bitten and turned into a zombie, and so of course everybody that comes over to the house, he's trying to act like nothing's wrong, and people keep coming to the house to see his mommy, who of course then get turned into zombies. So he's got this whole house full of them, and a couple of them have sex, and they actually have a baby zombie that is absolutely hilarious because it gets loose in the park, and he grabs it and starts beating the hell out of it, and his family's looking at him weird, and he just turns to him, goes, hyperactive, and takes off running. Because he's got this little infant in a sack, and he's beating the crap out of it. Nice. It's a fantastic movie. Any movie that ends with the guy at the end strapping a lawnmower to his chest and running through groups of zombies is perfect.
Have you? Why do I remember that scene? That sounds familiar.
I don't know. It's a classic scene.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Hobo with a Shotgun?
I have not. I've heard.
I just watched it on Netflix. It's the guys who did Trailer Park Boys, and it's like some sort of dystopian future but present day, and it's it's just gore for it's just basically it's a hobo with a shotgun trying to set the world to rights, and it's just
I might have to check it out.
Over the top acting and just
that's always fun.
Just blood and heads flying off, and there's not a scene that goes by where it doesn't look like the one where he's hiding underneath a dead body but he flies through them to shoot some other people. It's stupid good. What?
Perfect. Yeah. Kind of like Frankenhooker and Dead Alive.
I got to check them out.
You have to. Those are two of the best.
I like gore when it's cheesy like that. When it's looks like you're like, that looks real. I'm like, that doesn't. It's not for me.
Yeah, there's nothing real looking about these ones.
Yeah.
Except the Kung Fu Priest and Dead Alive. That's fantastic. Because the guy's going to try to, subdue these zombies that he knows are going to come back, and he gets set upon by a couple of them in this church's cemetery, and then the priest jumps out of nowhere and starts just doing all this karate kung fu moves and kicks the heck out of the zombies and looks over at him and says, I kick ass for the Lord. Gotta see it. Anyway, we got sidetracked there. That's okay. We'll get back to some more important news. I don't even know which one this is. Okay. When airport foreman Scott Babcock went out onto the runway, guess gotta love that name.
Babcock?
Yeah, Babcock. Went out onto the runway at Wiley Post Will Rogers Memorial Airport in Akwitvik, Alaska on Monday to clear some snow. He was surprised to find a visitor waiting on the asphalt, a 450-pound bearded seal, chilling in the milky sunshine. He said it was very strange to see the seal. I've seen a lot of things on runways, but never a seal. His footage of the hefty mammal went viral after he posted it on Facebook. Every news story has to do with Twitter or Facebook now.
He has gained a lot of weight
since
divorcing Heidi Klum.
Yep, and he had to let the beard go. Yeah. According to local TV station KTVA, animal control was called in and eventually moved the seal with the help of a sled because it's an Alaskan runway. You can't do anything without a sled, I'm thinking. Normal air traffic soon resumed, the station said. That was exciting. If only I had 10 more stories.
I'm going to go look
that.
up the footage.
Yeah.
I like a good animal story.
I got to stop picking these news stories in such a hurry.
That's I don't have any beef with that news story. It's better than most of the news that I read.
Well, that's true. I try not to get
It's got a happy ending, really.
Yeah, the seal was moved. Air traffic resumed. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Nobody really missed their flights by too much.
Yeah.
In many ways, Cluck is like any other 10-day-old kitten. She's sweet, adorable, and is learning to crawl around. But the one way she is different has life-threatening effects. She was born without a butthole. Cluck, who was rescued from Los Angeles streets with her mother and other members of her litter, suffers from a condition called an imperforate anus.
Did they really say butthole there?
That's
like
it said butthole in the news story.
Medical?
That's
Right,
the
like, it
medical
seemed-
term.
Yeah,
Is,
it seemed well written, and then just butthole. Like maybe they were going to go back.
Yeah.
Maybe they were going to go back and change that.
yeah,
to-
they couldn't think of a better term.
right,
at the
just
time.
leave it. Just
when
leave
you
it as
right click
butthole.
anus, like they wanted another word and it can't get in butthole. They're like,
Yep,
yeah,
somebody get the thesaurus.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
butthole. Got it.
that's the new America. We're just losing the nuances of
Yeah.
things.
Language.
Yeah,
We're just
Well,
cutting
and
right to
Ted
the chase.
Koppel's
now.
on there. Well, he was born without a
Yeah,
butt.
no
Born
need-
without
need
a
to-
butthole.
No need to dance around the anus.
Yeah.
Just go right for the butthole.
He was kicked
You're
in the
good to go.
ball sack. Like, Ted Koppel. How far are you falling?
So is she just filling up then, or
Yeah.
No. That is
That's
a
a
good
good
question,
question.
Joe. Thanks for getting us back on track.
right,
Yeah.
right?
Curious minds want to know. No, imperforate anus means that both of the waste matter. Yeah, because they actually have a
The
I
1
don't
and 2
wanna
hole.
read it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 1 and number 2 come out of they're all number 1 now.
Oh,
That's the way we should be.
According to that,
Yeah.
this is
you're
according
not
to
wrong.
Sean
That's very
Simons
convenient.
of
Right.
the Kitty Bungalow Charm School for Wayward Cats. That's who rescued this poor little buttholeless cat.
Yeah.
Yep, so somebody needs to tear that cat a new butthole. That's what. If you want to adopt the animal, it's very clean.
I always
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
yeah, if it
Save
all
on
came out
litter.
came out the same hole, and that hole was on your elbow. Unless you could
Yeah,
just be
that would be
riding out
bad.
your car
Right.
and just go, like it wouldn't be.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
just
the
lean
drop
it right
down,
out.
do all
Butt
this kind
would
of stuff.
just be like a pleasure hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be party time hole. Yeah. Maintenance would be
Yeah.
so much easier
Yeah,
with
quit
it.
pecking your elbow.
Yeah.
It'd be a way to kill time during a radio
You
show.
just be built like a Ken doll. Just so smooth down there.
Yep. Yep. Where would your male part hang from? Feel like an armpit. That'd be
Yeah.
easier too, because you could still lean it out the window.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or just get rid of all that. We don't need. If they just you'd be so much how liberated would you be? All that. Yeah.
that is
Just
true.
sweat your waist out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
you'd
a little
stink.
gamey, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
little,
you
little
smelt
bit.
like that's what a sloth does. I would love a sloth
Does
as a
it?
pet. Yeah, but they kind of sweat there. They just stink like pee. That's
Huh.
it.
Oh, that's
Otherwise,
lovely.
there'd be a sloth in every home.
So
I
it's
think.
not much different than a cat, really.
Pretty. Yeah. Like a ferret. Like have you ever smelt a ferret?
I do smell a lot of ferrets.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of
yeah,
it's a
me and
hobby.
the wife and kids went on a ferret smelling thing
Yeah,
last
yeah,
Thursday.
yeah, the old sniffing zoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
A sniffing zoo.
You smell the different.
It should totally be a thing.
Yeah.
Yep, come smell the sloth. And here's a perfect place to do it. There's a 10-acre desert ranch up for sale in Arizona, with the unique property listed as featuring an in-ground swimming pool, a hay barn, and a constant stream of extraterrestrials that travel through backyard portals.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Stardust Ranch in Rainbow Valley, which, of course, that's got to be it, which was featured on the Travel Channel's program Ghost Adventures in 2016, is on the market for a cool $5 million after its current owner said he grew tired of fighting off aliens' malevolent abductions. Owner John Edmonds told Phoenix station KPNX, almost immediately from the day we moved in, we began to have strange experiences. Over the last 20 years, Edmonds claims that he's been abducted and had medical experiments performed on him by aliens and even had to slay a few in samurai sword fights, because there's nothing worse than a samurai sword-wielding alien
If your
coming
chance
for
of getting
your butt.
abducted and experiments put on you, I think $5 million seems high. I think that's
I guess it depends on your feelings toward being abducted and, getting an anal probe.
aliens really like the Southwest. I've noticed.
Yeah, I think.
They'd have no use for that cat.
No.
Just, this one's wrong.
Which one? The one that they shot into space or the one without a butthole?
Either or.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like most cats. You have really
Actually,
no
that's
use
the
for
cat you'd want because they would leave. They can't probe anything out
Yep,
here.
like, nothing.
Yeah.
They would learn a whole new thing. That would really confuse them, actually, because you think of all the millions of anal probes that these aliens have done, and then to come across one of these earthling animals, because they don't know the difference. To them, a human, the noise we make is no different than a cat making noise. They don't know who's really in charge down here.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
You know. So they would run across this cat, and all of a sudden, all of their medical experience
I feel
is
like they
thrown
would
out the
come
window.
down, like if you rolled by a really rough-looking trailer park, and you'd be like, I'm not stopping here. And they just would keep going. I feel like that's what alien life would be like. I'm not messing with that.
Well, yeah. You know,
I'll wait for them to kill themselves off, then we'll come down and mine the resources.
They seem to be really good at it.
We'll give them about 100 years or whatever they call years. They'll be like, we'll wait them out.
Yeah, there you go. Because eventually, I don't even think trailer parks have 100-year lifespan, do they?
I would say the whole deal. Yeah, I'd say this whole Earth trailer park we live on. Yeah,
Yeah,
human wise.
Yeah.
Trailer Park Earth. That's a new name. That's a name for a new movie right there.
Yeah.
And watch Trailer Park Earth, featuring President Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Take us to your leader. And they're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, these people in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we might as well. Yeah, like you said, they'll just stand back and wait them out.
The president of Earth assured us that he's the best at talking aliens ever in the universe. We're like, isn't this your first time?
Wouldn't that be the worst time if they arrived now and he just started a bunch of crap with him because he's such a fool? Like,
started a Twitter fight with it.
Yeah, the best or worst.
Yeah,
I don't know, because that'd be so entertaining. Because if we're going to go out in a blaze of
That's
alien
true.
dust,
That's
it
true.
might as well be fun.
it might as well be when we deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Be like,
Yeah.
fair enough, aliens.
Okay, you got it. It's a fair cop. You're good.
Yeah, you're right. This is more
probe away.
Yeah. We should be subjugated, aliens. You're right.
Yep, we got nothing left to give. All right, speaking of which, I think it's time to call this show finished.
Yeah.
Do we have, I know Joe's going to be hosting this week for
Hosting
Tim
for
Bedore
Tim
at
Bedore.
Wiley's,
Nice.
legendary
Wiley's,
Wiley's Comedy
Friday, 8 o'clock, Saturday, 7:15 and 9:30.
Club. Yep.
And I'm in
Tabari
Chillicothe
McCoy's featuring.
Monday.
Chillicothe on Monday.
Yep.
Oh, nice. With the Lori Graves.
Yep. With the Lori Graves. Yep.
Oh, that's a fun
Those are
show.
some good shows out
That's
there.
what I keep hearing.
What do you got going on, Luke?
I'm at the Funny Bone next weekend in Liberty, hosting down there. Friday through Sunday. That's pretty much it. Then
That's
nothing
it.
else.
That's it.
Then
Just
I'm
riding around.
Then Monday I'm taking my own life, and that'll be it. I'm gonna spend
That's good. You're waiting until after the show.
Yeah.
That would leave him in a bind.
meet my obligations.
Yeah. It's good to be responsible.
Yeah.
If you're. All right. Well, do you have websites or Twitter feeds or anything, since that's what the world's all about anymore, that you want to throw out there?
Facebook.
Just check out Joe's Facebook.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I got a website, but I don't think anyone goes to them. I don't know if anyone goes to websites anymore, but I'll plug it. LukeCapasso.com is my website.
Luke Capasso. Now, you sell some of your artwork on there, too.
I do, yeah. I also have a
which we
YouTube
didn't
channel.
have time to talk about.
That's all right. If you guys need any RV maintenance tips, you can go to my YouTube channel, Luke Capasso. Just type it in the search, and then it'll come up. That'll be my channel. You'll see my stupid face there, and then all the information you'll need about RVs will be right there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get out and watch some live comedy this weekend, and especially go check out Tim Bedore at Wiley's. It's a fantastic show with a fantastic lineup. Joe Robinette, Tabari McCoy, and Tim Bedore.
That's a strong show.
It'll be a good show.
Yeah.
All right. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Life Radio Show on WWSU 106.9 with your host, Don Smith. The Life is also available in podcast form on iTunes, PodBean, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blueberry, and YouTube, as well as on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Be sure to like the Life Radio Show on Facebook, and if you have any comments or suggestions, email thelife1069@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Now get out there and enjoy some live comedy this week. You can check out wileyscomedy.com for all your upcoming shows.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence All the walls